Welcome back to another episode of Scholastic IQ, the game where knowledge rules. I'm your host, Ethan Neer, and we have a great show in store to you tonight. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams. On the bottom, we have Edwards County with Adriel, Jason, Owen, and Eli. And on the top, we have Massac County with Nick, Joey, Audrey, and Reed. But before we get into the questions, let's just do a quick reminder of the rules. We'll start off with some toss-up questions. Each of those will be worth 10 points apiece. If a team gets it right, they move on to a bonus question, which is worth 20 points. A team can steal a bonus question for 10 points, though. You guys can interrupt me at any time, but if you interrupt me and get a question wrong, it is 5 points for the other team. So if you're gonna do it, make sure you're right. We all good? We all understand the rules? All right, great. Let's go ahead and get into the questions. What businessman who founded the Boring Company and proposed... Joey.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what child of Amanda Wingfield, whose pleurosis leads to the nickname Blue Roses from Jim O'Connor, owns the title collection in The Glass Menagerie?
No answer.
No answer. Edwards County, chances you.
Johnson.
Johnson is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Laura Wingfield. Laura Wingfield. Takes us to our next question. What is the profession of a character who is taken to a valley by a rock, gives a cup to Harun al-Rashid, is named Sinbad, and goes on 7 voyages? Joey.
Pirate.
Pirate is incorrect. Sorry, Edwards, you are all out of time. The answer we're looking for was not pirate, but sailor. So, I mean, basically the same thing, but different intentions. That'll take us to the next toss-up, and pencil and paper ready. What is the greatest common factor of 56 and 70, given that 56 and 70 are both divisible by 7? Nick.
$14.
14 is correct. Well done. Well done. For your bonus question, what political unit supposedly organized by the Great Peacemaker added Tuscarora in 1722 as its 6th member in a North American confederation?
Iroquois.
Iroquois is correct. Hold on. That'll take us back to the toss-ups. What legume is used whole in the Indian dish chana masala, ground into flour in Middle Eastern falafel, and cooked and mashed in the dip hummus? Joey.
Chickpeas.
Chickpeas is correct. Hold on. For your bonus, what author portrayed a clairvoyant boy in his story The Rocking Horse Winner and privately published his controversial novel Lady Chardelie's Lover?
No answer.
No answer.
No answer.
The answer we're looking for was D.H. Lawrence. D.H. Lawrence. For our next question, what queen who was wrongfully accused of fraud in the diamond necklace affair married Louis XVI and was guillotined in the French Revolution? Joey.
Anne Boleyn.
Anne Boleyn is incorrect.
Marie Antoinette.
Marie Antoinette is correct. Well done. That'll take you to your first bonus question and get you on the board. Cars are banned on what island which shares its name with the strait that separates Michigan's upper and lower peninsulas?
Pass.
All right. Massac County, a chance to steal.
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland is incorrect. It is Mackinac Island. Mackinac Island. I'll take us back to the toss-ups. What poet described seeing the margin of a bay covered with a never-ending line of daffodils in the 1807 romantic poem, I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud? Reed.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe is incorrect. Owen.
Frost.
Frost is also incorrect. The answer we're looking for was William Wordsworth. And that will take us to our first media question. This basketball player won the 2012 NCAA championship with Kentucky. Eli.
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis is correct. Well done. And because that is a media question, there is no bonus question. So let's take it back to the toss-ups. What element whose carbonate salt was used in white paints before its neurotoxicity was proven is used in shielding for X-rays and in car batteries? Joey.
Lead.
Lead is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what future U.S. president defeated a British invasion of Louisiana in January 1815, weeks after the Treaty of Ghent officially ended the War of 1812?
Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson's correct. Well done, Reed. Now I'll take us to our next question. What painter who painted a portrait of Thomas More while living in England in the 1520s included a highly distorted skull in his The Ambassadors? You guys are all out of time. The answer we're looking for was Hans Holbein the Younger. That is quite the title. On to our next question. What philosopher whom Averroes called the first teacher founded the Peripatetic school, taught at the Lyceum, and tutored Alexander the Great? Jason.
Aristotle.
Aristotle's correct. Well done, Jason. For your bonus, what type of machine is an emulation layer used by Java to run platform-independent compiled bytecode?
Computer.
Computer is incorrect, but I like the guess anyways. Massac County, a chance to steal.
Stack Overflow.
Stack Overflow is also incorrect. The answer we're looking for was virtual machines. On to our next question. What disaster, which coincided with a similar event in Peshtigo, Wisconsin, was blamed on Mrs. O'Leary's cow and in 1871 destroyed Joey?
Great Chicago Fire.
Great Chicago Fire is correct. Well done. For your bonus, while the interval from C to G is a perfect fifth, what adjective describes the interval of a fifth from C to G sharp, which is a half step larger?
Pentatonic.
Pentatonic is incorrect. Edwards County, a chance to steal.
No answer.
The answer looking for there was augmented. Augmented. Back to the toss-up. What drug, similar to an ancient remedy made from the willow tree, was made by Bayer, also called acetosalic, and is a common painkiller? Acetosalicylic. There we go. Acetosalicylic. That's quite the word. Read.
Cocaine.
Cocaine is incorrect.
Morphine.
Morphine is also incorrect. The answer we're looking for was aspirin. Aspirin. Common painkiller, aspirin. Back to our toss-ups. What baseball stadium is home to a mascot named Wally, has a left field called the Green Monster? Eli.
Fenway Park.
Fenway Park's correct. Well done. I'm getting the sense that you might be the sports guy for your team. Yeah. For your bonus, in 2022, Gavin Newsom blocked the release of what Palestinian man who assassinated Robert F. Kennedy in 1968?
Pass.
Yes. Massac, a chance to steal.
No answer.
The answer we're looking for was Saran Saran. A name so nice you say it twice. And on to another media question. Raised by a motherly blue whale at the edge of a storm along harbor, this jovial young sailor boy falls around his mentor and best friend, Reed.
Flapjack.
Flapjack is correct. Well done. I'll take us back to the toss-ups. What book, which contains the line, "Simplicity, simplicity, simplicity," is a memoir about life near a pond in the woods by Henry David Thoreau? Joey.
Walden.
Walden is correct. Well done. For your bonus, the Itaipu Dam is shared between Brazil and what smaller of South America's two landlocked countries?
Guyana.
Guyana is incorrect.
Paraguay.
Paraguay is correct. Well done, Edwards guys. Joey, I'm getting the sense that was your other guess. Yeah, all right. Well done, Edwards County, on the steal there. For your next toss-up, what former general promoted the 6 arrows, introduced the Latin alphabet, banned the fez, and promoted secularism as the first president of Turkey? Eli.
Ataturk.
Ataturk is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in 2022, what set of nations planned to cap the price of petroleum from Russia, a nation its predecessor expelled after the 2014 invasion of Ukraine?
United States.
United States is incorrect. Massac County, a chance to steal.
UN.
The UN is also incorrect. It was formerly the G8, but now after expelling Russia, it's the G7. On to our next question. What TV character who grew up in Nebraska before becoming a waitress at a cheesecake factory in Pasadena marries Leonard on The Big Bang Theory? Joey.
Penny.
Penny is correct. I was going to say, none of you guys a fan of subpar sitcoms? Penny Holstetter is correct. For your bonus, 1 second after the Big Bang, the universe was in an epoch named after what class of 6 low-mass particles, including electrons and neutrinos?
Pass.
Pass.
Subatomic.
Subatomic is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was leptons, or lepton epoch. For your next question, pencil and paper ready. What is the value of the exponent when the number 820,000 is written in scientific notation?
Would it be 4?
4 is incorrect. Owen.
5.
5 is correct. Well done, Owen. And that'll take you to your bonus. What president whose Secretary of State died in an explosion aboard the USS Princeton replaced his cabinet after succeeding William Henry Harrison?
Tyler.
John Tyler is correct. Well done. Getting it just before the buzzer. And with that, we'll now take it to our lightning round. The way our lightning round works is both teams will have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as they can about a certain topic. Now, Edwards County, since you guys are trailing only by 30 points, actually, very close game. But since you guys are trailing, you will get to pick your topic first. Your topic choices are T in mathematics, plays by country, QUE, and state nicknames. So, which one of those would you guys like to pick?
State nicknames.
State nicknames it is. So which U.S. state is known by this nickname? I will give you 60 seconds on the clock and count you down. 3, 2, 1. The Empire State.
New York.
New York is correct. The Golden State.
California.
California is correct. Land of 10,000 lakes.
Michigan.
Michigan's incorrect. The Last Frontier. You can pass as well.
Pass.
The Old Dominion.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's incorrect. The Show Me State.
Missouri.
Missouri is correct. The Bluegrass State.
Tennessee.
Tennessee is incorrect. The Equality State, also called the Cowboy State.
Texas.
Texas is incorrect. The Magnolia State.
Pass.
The Treasure State, also called the Last Best Place.
Alaska.
Alaska is incorrect. The Last Frontier. I'm sorry, you guys are all out of time, so we'll go over the ones you passed or missed. The Land of 10,000 Lakes is not Michigan, but Minnesota. The Old Dominion is Virginia. The Bluegrass State is Kentucky. The Equality State, or the Cowboy State, is Wyoming. And the Magnolia State is Mississippi. And the Treasure State, also called the Last Best Place, is Montana. Montana. All right, so it looks like you got 3 of them right there. So you are able to knot up the game, but Massac, now time for your lightning round. I will remind you of your topic choices. You guys have T in mathematics, plays by countries, or QUE.
We'll take QUE, please.
QUE it is. All right. Give these words that either begin or end with the consecutive letters Q, U, E. I'll give you 60 seconds on the clock and count you down. 3, 2, 1. One of a kind.
Unique.
Correct. A long journey with a noble mission.
Quest.
Correct. A very old-fashioned item.
Antique.
That's correct. Not transparent.
Opaque.
That's correct. A Mexican dish of melted cheese and a grilled tortilla.
Pass.
An exclusionary social group.
Click.
Correct. Nauseous and dizzy.
Wheezy.
Correct. The condition of someone's body, especially if fit and attractively muscled.
Physique.
That's correct. To satisfy a thirst or desire.
Quench.
That's correct. A French soup made with crustaceans.
Pass.
A Mexican dish of melted cheese and a grilled tortilla.
Quesadilla.
That's correct. A French soup made with crustaceans.
Is that the last one?
That's the
Okay.
last one.
Hold. We might get it. Bisque.
Bisque is correct. Let's
go.
Did it just come to you in a moment?
it
I
happened.
summoned it. I
You
summoned the
knowledge out of nowhere. All
I
right,
love
well,
shrimp.
well done, going 10 for 10. So our score after that lightning round is going to be 220 Massac County and 120 Edwards County. But I mean, with each question being worth essentially 30 points, no reason you guys can't catch up in the back half. For your toss-up question, what city-state was ruled by the Aegead and the Eurypontic kings, was served by slaves called helots, and sent troops to Thermopylae under King Joey?
Sparta.
Sparta is correct. Well done. For your bonus, an innkeeper pretends to knight what character who is assisted by Sancho Panza and mistakes windmills for giants in a novel by Miguel de Cervantes?
Gulliver's Travels.
Gulliver's Travels is incorrect. Edwards County, a chance to steal.
No answer.
The answer we're looking for there was Don Quixote. Don Quixote. For your next toss-up, what character has his gold stolen by Dunsey Cass, adopts the young girl Eppie, and is the title Weaver of Raveloe in a novel by George Eliot? Sorry, you guys are all out of time. The answer we're looking for there was Silas Marner. Silas Marner. For your next question, what country contains most of the world's Wolof speakers, is the westernmost country on the African mainland, and is governed from Dakar? Nick.
Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast is incorrect. Eli.
Senegal?
Senegal is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what man evacuated his government to Taiwan after his Kuomintang nationalist regime lost the Chinese Civil War to Mao Zedong and the communists?
Chiang Kai-shek.
Chiang Kai-shek is correct. Well done. And now I'll take another bonus. What vehicle which the Rogers Commission found had suffered O-ring failure held astronauts including Krista McAuliffe when it exploded in 1986?
Challenger.
Challenger is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in 2022, Amanda Lee became the first demonstration pilot for what Navy squadron? The U.S.'s oldest acrobatics team.
Pass.
Massac County, a chance to steal.
Top Gun.
Top Gun is incorrect, but a great movie. The answer you're looking for was Blue Angels. Blue Angels. For your next toss-up, what country lost Schleswig-Holstein in an 1864? Jason.
Denmark.
Denmark is correct. Very well done. For your bonus, Dutch Van der Linde and John Marston appear in multiple games in what open-world action series set around the turn of the 20th century?
Red Dead.
Red Dead Redemption is correct. Well done. Oh, wait, I was about to wait. Are you guys even old enough to play Red Dead Redemption, Nick? Because isn't that game rated down? Are you guys playing games before the age rating, Owen?
No. Never.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. All right, for your next toss-up, what character reads Dover Beach to his wife Mildred and her friends, is a book-burning fireman, and is the protagonist of Fahrenheit 451? Jason.
Guy Montag.
Guy Montag is correct. Well done. And for your bonus, ruby and sapphire are forms of what aluminum oxide mineral that has a hardness of 9 on the Mohs scale?
Mineral.
Mineral's incorrect. Massac County, a chance to steal.
Feldspar?
Feldspar is incorrect. The correct answer is corundum. Corundum. I'll take it to our next toss-up. What country controls the Lighthouse Reef and the Great Blue Hole, is the only English-speaking country in Latin America, and is governed from Belmopan?
Guyana.
Guyana is incorrect. From Belmopan. Nick.
The Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic is also incorrect. It is not Guyana, it is Belize. Belize is the correct answer. For your next question, what force must have a strength of mass times velocity squared over radius for uniform circular motion and points inward unlike centrifugal force? Joey.
Centripetal force?
Centripetal force is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what dialogue between Prince Arjuna and his chariot driver Krishna is part of the Mahabharata that expresses core Hindu doctrines?
Bhagavad Gita?
Bhagavad Gita is correct. Well done. And this will take us to another media question. This flag belongs to a country in
Iran.
Eli. Iran is correct. Well done. I'll take us to our next toss-up. What country's president, Kais Saied, spearheaded a July 2022 referendum that undid reforms from when this North African country began the Arab Spring? Eli.
Egypt.
Egypt is incorrect. Nick.
Tunisia?
Tunisia is correct. Well done. Oh. I'm getting the sense that might have been a shot in the dark. It never hurts to guess. That's what you realize. Yeah. For your bonus, what singer whose 2007 song Glamorous was sampled in Jack Harlow's 2022 hit First Class is a former member of the Black Eyed Peas?
It's Fergie.
Fergie, and it is Fergalicious indeed. Well done. For your toss-up, what book series began in 1992 depicted the ventriloquist dummy Slappy? Joey.
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps is correct. Also a great TV series in the early 2000s. That show is awesome. For your bonus, what activist who texted Mark Meadows, "Release the Kraken and save us from the left taking down America," is the wife of a Supreme Court justice?
Pass.
Edwards County, chance to steal.
No answer.
The answer we were looking for was Ginny Thomas, the wife of Justice Clarence Thomas. For your next toss-up, what profession is practiced in Italy by people known as cabineri, in France by people known as gendarmes, and in London by people called bobbies? Jason.
Police.
Policeman is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what author who wrote about high school basketball star Harry Angstrom in a series of novels also wrote The Wishes of Eastwick?
Pass.
Massac County, chance to
No answer.
The answer we're looking for was John Updike. On to our next question. What man who spoke about his dog Checkers when he was Dwight Eisenhower's running mate left the White House in 1974 amidst the Watergate scandal?
Richard Nixon.
Richard Nixon is correct. Well done, Jason. For your bonus, what Duchess of Aquitaine was the wife of Henry II of England and the mother of Richard the Lionheart and King John?
Eleanor.
Eleanor of Aquitaine is correct. Well done there. The next question. What country whose Klang Valley contains the administrative center of Putrajaya is home to the Petronas Towers in its capital of Kuala Lumpur? Eli.
Tajikistan.
Tajikistan is incorrect. Joey.
Nepal?
Nepal is also incorrect. The correct answer is Malaysia. Malaysia with the capital Kuala Lumpur. For your next toss-up, what mathematician developed graph theory with a problem about 7 bridges in Königsberg and lends his name to the base of the natural logarithm e? Joey.
Euclid?
Euclid is incorrect. Sorry, you guys are all out of time. It's not Euclid, but another E name, Euler. Euler. And our next question, what country from which 1878 to 1980 was ruled by the True Whig Party was settled by formerly enslaved people from the U.S. who founded
Liberia.
Liberia is correct. Well done. I'll take it to your toss-up. What mythological figure, the father of Icarus, designed the labyrinth that housed the Minotaur?
Pass.
Pass. Massac County.
Daedalus.
Daedalus is correct. Well done, Reed. And I believe that, Bella, means that is all we have time for today. Let's take a look at our scores. So it ends at 315 to 260. So, really close game right down to the wire, but well done, Massac County, of really getting it done that bonus round, going 10 for 10. So that is all the time we have for on today's show. For everyone behind the scenes and all of our lovely contestants here today, I'm Ethan Neer. Thank you so much, and good night.